Hi there, Ed from Bobil here. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of our new smart controller, and then later on in the video we'll show you an installation that we've just completed on a customer vehicle, and we'll actually show you this in practice, show you exactly how it works in a van. So when you order the controller, it comes with the main control box. Attached to this are two temperature sensors, one for inside the vehicle and one for outside the vehicle, to see whether or not you need to wear a jumper when you're going outside. This is where all the information is: temperature, air temperature, what the controller is doing, and then you control it using the buttons on the front. That's connected via this control cable to a slave box. So the slave box will sit by the heater itself, and it's got screw terminals, and all you do is things like the pump, the power supply, servo just plug straight in. So really straightforward to wire. We've now got a motorised diverter as well. So the diverter used to be operated manually or by a cable. Now we've got a motor on the top of it which will move the flap for you, so you don't have to be involved in it. The controller takes care of all that. If you're ordering one of these as a retrofit, we send you a little guide so you can drill 2 holes in the diverter and then just fit this straight over the top. There's also the option for level sensors. So we offer 2 sensors, one for the fresh tank and one for the waste tank. So the fresh sensors come in a variety of different sizes, and what happens is as the water fills up in the tank, the float just goes up and down on the sensor, and that's displayed on the box there. When you place an order, you need to tell us the size of the tank that this is going to be fitted to, and the measurement you need to give us is the very top of the tank to the top of the bottom of the tank, if that makes sense. So the inside bottom of the tank to the top. So effectively where this is going to sit to where this will touch the bottom. And if your tank is something like 220 millimeters, you want to order the next size down, so that would be the 200. There's also a sensor that sits in the waste tank. Now you don't need access to the inside of the tank to fit this. You just drill a hole, poke this through, and as you tighten this nut, the collar gets bigger and that seals the hole. And again, that's connected straight to the slave box, and when the tank is full, that information is displayed on the control box. So hopefully that's been a nice little introduction. Let's go and see one that we've just installed. So I'll just talk you through the setup we've got in this van. We've got our SureFlow Trail King 20, we've got an Autoterm 4K, we've got the diverter next to the exchanger. There's our new slave box all wired up, fuse box, which is obviously part of the van. Then we've got the tank. This is the dual tank because the customer's got an inverter, so it allows them just to boost the temperature when they need to. We've fitted the thermostatic mixer because they're having a sink and they don't want to faff around constantly changing from hot to cold. And then we've just put these 2 outlets from the thermostatic mixer that the customer can connect straight to their taps. So here's the controller mounted on this panel. By default the screen is blank, so that if you put it somewhere where you're sleeping at night, it's not going to be on all night keeping you awake. So essentially there's 3 buttons to operate it. We've got a menu scroll button which just scrolls through all the different screens, and then we've got 2 buttons. The left one is on but also down, the right one is off and also up, which will make a bit more sense as we go through the menus. So this is the default screen. So we've got our van temperature. That sensor I've just put here, so if I just hold that, you'll see that starting to go up. We've then got our water temperature, which is the temperature of the water in the hot tank. We've then also got the level sensor, which is in a tank underneath. The second screen, this gives us the outside temperature, also gives us our battery voltage. Now we go into our routines. So this is our air heating routine, so this will turn the heater off, turn the heater on and heat the vehicle to a certain temperature. Water heating heats the water to 60 using the diesel heater. Air and water heating, this will heat the water to a certain temperature and also heat the van to a set temperature before turning the heater off. We've also got timers, so if you want the air and water routine to come on at a certain time, then you can set that for maybe 20 minutes before you're planning to get out of bed in the morning. So you just set the time, so if we go 8:05, there we are, that's now set the time. So if you want that routine to be on, that will now enable the routine, and you can see this hourglass just telling you it's enabled. Just turn that off. Here you can set the temperature, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is the air temperature, so what the temperature we're going to heat the van to using the diesel heater. The DC heating element, so this replaces the Solaris. Essentially, once the voltage goes over a certain level, it's going to turn the element on. Once it drops below a certain level, it turns the element back off again. So to enable the routine, it's telling us that the voltage is too low to run the countdown. The countdown's 5 minutes, just to make sure that the heater's not constantly cycling on and off when it's not needed. Here we can set the time of the unit. Again, just press those buttons just to set the time. We've also got Wi-Fi in this unit, which means we can connect to it using our phone. So when I demo it down on the floor of the van next to the heater, I'll use my phone to enable it. And there's our fancy logo. So really easy to use, really straightforward. The only other thing to say is that once routines are enabled, you get little symbols here just to show you that there's heat coming out of the heater and the vehicle or the water being heated. So I've just connected the controller to my phone, so I'll remotely turn it on to show you how it works. When you power the system up for the first time, the diverter will prioritise air heating. So you can see the diverter flap at the moment is pushed all the way over to the other side. This means that if you put the heater on, then it's not going to push any air towards the diverter. So if I go down here, you can see that I've got the air temperature all displayed on the screen, heating status, and I've got the option to change the temperature. So if I now go to water heating on, you can see now the diverter's moved to this position, and it will then fire up the heater. Should then get the pump turning on in a second just to start circulating the water. So I'll just show you the screen whilst the heater's running. So this is our water heating temperature, so you can see this going up. It still says we're connected to Wi-Fi in the top left, which means that we can't start and stop the routines from this device. We need to go onto the phone and do it, or disconnect from the phone. We can also see this little heating icon here. Just means that the diesel heater is on and that the water temperature should be rising. So we've been running for a couple of minutes now. You can see that our water temperature is up to about 30 degrees, just gone past it. So what I'm going to do now is just press the water heating status button. That's going to start shutting the heater down. It's going to move the diverter back to its air position, and you'll hear the heater start to wind down now. Still see the water temperature just going up a little bit, just any residual heat from the air is just being taken out of the exchanger. So I hope that's been a useful video. If you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. Send us an email to info@bobilvans.co.uk, or find us on Facebook. There's a Bobil water heater users group, so feel free to join that and post your question there. Thanks very much for watching.